in a group. But the Friedrich Rebbe, in other words, this is one of the Chidushim of the Beis Tammuz, is just like there's the Inyan of Tefillah B'tzibur, which is connected to Yud Gimel Midas HaRachamim. There's such a thing as Torah B'tzibur, which is connected to Yud Gimel Midas Sha'Torah Nidresh Al-Vahem. It's Tafresh Peches. This was the whole word. So the Rebbe said, you learn a little bit B'tzibur, and the rest you learn by yourself. The Rebbe said, when you get to Mashiach, that Mashiach Agula should be Shiurim B'Rabim. It takes away from eons, a little bit you learn by Rabbim, and the rest you learn by yourself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. On Friday last, Yud Aleph Tammuz, we started learning a Maimed. This is a Gimel Tammuz Maimed. Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu, kasher hoya maveseinu, al yazveinu val yachenu, which the Friedrich Rebbe said in the train station on Sunday, Gimel Tammuz, before he left the Kastrava. The story, of course, was that he gave specific instructions that nobody should be there. And thousands of nobodies showed up. Thousands of nobodies were there. So the Rebbe said, I came to the train station, I saw all of these people, and he said, I couldn't not say anything. Kann ich nicht schweigen. Unter jenen Umständen, under those conditions, you understand, so many Yidden were living a life of Mesiras Nefesh. And they were all leaning on him. The whole Mesiras Nefesh was on the Friedrich Rebbe's back. So the Friedrich Rebbe said, so I stepped forward on the platform, and I spoke a Sikha, which started with the Pasuk, which we say every single day in Davening, before Shir Shalyem, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu kasher hoya maviseinu al yazveinu val yachenu. And he explained it's a tefillah, just like the Eibush with our Heilig Zedis, who were Bali Mesiras Nefesh, the Eibush should be with us, even though we're in a lower madrega than our parents. That was the Friedrich Rebbe's Mashmal's Darshan, that the Tzemach Tzedek was about Mesiras Nefesh. And we are, the Friedrich Rebbe describes himself as if he's not about Mesiras Nefesh. So you have to mispal to the Eibush, that Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu kasher hoya maviseinu al yazveinu val yachenu. This is part of the Kuntres. The Rebbe gave out a Kuntres, my Maamar of Yehi Tammuz, and it was in it. I'm not sure. Because these Maimorim didn't come out in Beizai. They didn't come out right away. They came out a few years later. They gave out a Kuntres Maimorim from the Chag Agul, and it's in there. So Friday we learned the first shir on this Maimon. And what the Rebbe told us like this. And I'm going to tell you briefly what we learned on Friday, and then we're going to continue with today's class. The Rebbe said, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu kasher hoya maviseinu al yazveinu val yachenu was a tefillah. You're asking the Eibush should be with you. So the Rebbe says, before you ask the Eibush that the Eibush should be with you, there's something much higher. And what is that? Ki chelek Hashem ameh. Chelek Elokam imau mamish. The Eibush that does not have to be with a Yid and the Eibush that are one. That's a much higher madrege than to say, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu. That means we are separate from the Eibush and we're asking the Eibush to be with us. So the Rebbe says the Seder is first you have to have the higher Inyan. And the higher Inyan is that a Yid is Chelek Havaya Amei, Chelek Elokam imau mamish. And after that comes the tefillah of Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu. Why? Because the tefillah of Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu is not that Hashem should be with us. He is with us. As you'll see inside. The tefillah is Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu is Hashem should be with us b'his galus, in a revealed way. And as you'll see in this Maimed on top of page Shin Mem Hey, that the Eibush should be with us b'his galus in avoida b'poil. That's what the Rebbe calls it. In avoida b'poil. So there's a Seder. The first thing is that a Yid is a Chelek Hashem Ameh, Chelek Elokam mamish. And then there's a second thing. And Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu is the third thing. What's the second thing? A Yid is born a Yid. A Yid is born a Yid, yeah? In other words, a Yid is born a Chelek Elokam imau mamish. What comes next? After a Yid is born, as a Chelek Elokam imau mamish, he has to actualize. Yes, the Rebbe's Lashon has to make a keli. He has to make a sarusat latata, my mother over there, from his being a chelik. What is the keli? The keli is chelki havaya omra nafshi. Right? Everybody knows this maimed. Anon nesiv malki. That a yid has choices. He can relate to the Eibishter in many ways. And because he's a pikeach, because he's smart, he says, Chelki avaya menafshi. I'm not going to relate to the Eibishter through the medium of the Chavim Mazalas. I'm not going to relate to the Eibishter through the medium of the Malach. I'm not even going to relate to the Eibishter through the medium of the Sfiris, which the Rebbe calls Ein Semchem Alanes. Al Biteva, you're supposed to rely on the Mazalas, you're supposed to rely on the Malachim, you're supposed to rely on the Sfiris. But he's a Pikeach, he's a Pikech, he's smart. And he says, I'm going to have a relationship with the Eibishter directly, no Teva. Why? Kula mischalfen and malkala mischalef. Everything that exists is temporary. It's here today and gone tomorrow. The only thing which never changes, the only thing which is forever is the Eibishter. So the Rebbe says, in Avodas Ha'adam, there's 3 steps. Even though the Frierdiker Rebbe doesn't talk about the 2 steps at all. The Frierdiker Rebbe's Maimon doesn't mention Chelik Elokainu Mal Mamish. And the Frierdiker Rebbe's Maimon doesn't mention Chelki Hashem Omra Nafshi, that a Yid is smart enough, is pikach enough to choose the Eibishter. The Frierdiker Rebbe's Maimon only speaks about the Tefillah, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu Kasher Hoyam Aviseinu Al Yazvenu Al Yicheinu, that the Eibishter should be with us. Says Rebbe, but you have to add the first 2 steps. That was Friday's class. The Chachaf Filo, the Frierdiker Rebbe doesn't explain it. The Rebbe says you got to add. You have to add these 2 additional ideas, which are, number 1, that either the chelik of the Eibishter, or number 2, that you actualize, you reveal, you make a keli for this being a chelik of the Eibishter by having enough seichel of saying, I'm not the Siv Malka, I'm not relating to the Eibishter through any mediums, not even the Levush of Teva, or the Svidith, just Atzmus and Hus, the Tefillah Mischalef. Once you have that attitude, number 1, a Yid is a chelik Elokainu Mal Mamish. Number 2, Chelki Avaya Omra Nashi, that a Yid chooses the Eibishter himself to be his chelik. The way I explained it on Friday is, if you're friends with the Minister of Finance, you can get banking favors. If you're friends with the Minister of Infrastructure, you can get favors when it comes to building roads or putting street lights. When you're friends with the king, there's no favors. Kings don't give out favors. The only favor you have from the king is the relationship with the king itself, or himself. And that's why you need a pikeach to say, I don't need favors, I need melech. Once you have those 2 in yonim, now comes a tefillah. That this idea of chelik Elokainu Mal, chelek havaya nafshi should be his galos. We daven that we should see practically in our life, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu. The Eibishter should be with us. Kasher Hoyam Aviseinu, as he was with our father. I'm reading inside. Al Yazvenu Al Yicheinu. He shouldn't abandon us, and he shouldn't forget us. It says the Rebbe Shezeu Apostle. This is the apostle. Shekisher Ba'al Geulim Im Gimel Tammuz, with the Frierdiker Rebbe connected to Gimel Tammuz. She'omrei Oz, which he said then. Kimevur Baruch Ba'Kontresim, as it says in the Kuntris. The Frierdiker Rebbe wrote himself. Frierdiker Rebbe said the Sicher, and then later on he sat down Koyochel and he wrote up what he said. Okay? Number 2. Number 12. I'm skipping. Number 12, second paragraph. I want to explain something. Overhead. When a Yid comes to the Eibishter and he says, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu Kasher Hoyam Aviseinu, just like you would my father be with me. Al Yazvenu, don't abandon me. Al Yicheinu, don't forget me. Says Rebbe, why would you even think that the Eibishter would forget you? Doesn't make sense. Overhead. Move a mat itself understood Chakavana, but Pasuk said the meaning of this Pasuk. It doesn't mean that Hashem should be with us rather than not be with us. That Hashem should remember us rather than forget us. Hashem should stay near us rather than abandon us. This is very, very simple. There's no need to ask for this, because it's a fact of life. How? Number 1. Second paragraph, 4th line. My Maamar right here, please. A Yid shouldn't daven to the Eibishter, don't abandon me and don't forget me. Sharei mefurish b'kosov. Ki lo yitesh ad Hashem ameh v'nachlos le'yazev. It doesn't tell him that Hashem never forgets us and Hashem never abandons us. Now, who wrote the Tilim? David HaMelech. Who said the pasuk Yehi Hashem Elokainu imanu? Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo knew that it says in the Tilim from his father. Ki lo yitesh Hashem ameh v'nachlos. Why is he davening for something that his father already wrote is never going to happen? Now the Rebbe continues, and the same is for the first half of the puzzle. A Yid is davening that Havaya Elokainu should be with us. It's already established. It's known. When the Eibishter said, so Hashem Elokecha is the same thing as Hashem Elokainu. And we're saying, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imanu. Yehi Hashem Elokecha means Hashem says, I'm with you. Why do you have to daven that the Eibishter should be with you if the Eibishter promised you by that set of sadibis I'm never going to not be with you? And he explains, Hine, number one, when the Eibishter speaks, it's an action. Shenasa came bepel, it happens. So when the Eibishter is Yehi Hashem Elokecha, that means the Eibishter is Hashem Elokecha. And he explains, Elokecha means, the word Elokecha means Hashem is our personal God. He's our strength and He's our life. Skip the bracket. And then we say, Hu Havaya, that the strength and life of a Yid doesn't only come from Shem Elokecha, but it comes from Shem Havaya. Moreover, it says Yehi Hashem Elokainu, that the personal life of a Jew comes from Havaya. The personal life of a Jew comes from Havaya, the way it's strengthened. By a Nechi, by the Indians have this idea. That the Eibishter's name on Nechi, the Eibishter's name Havaya, is the personal God of every Jew. Says the Rebbe, who Naile Yeser is a much higher Indian. Mayasher, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imanu. Shlomo HaMelech is davening for two things that he knows he were already promised. David HaMelech wrote in Tilim, Ki lo yitesh Hashem ameh v'nachlos le'yazev. And the Eibishter says, Naser sadibros, Yehi Hashem Elokainu. So all the things he's asking for, we were already given. Why ask for something you already have? And for the Lubavitcher Rebbe, second line from the bottom of the page, Shlomo HaMelech isn't davening that the Eibishter should be Havaya Elokecha. Shlomo HaMelech isn't davening that the Eibishter should not be Yazev and Yitesh. Shlomo is davening we should see that Yehi Hashem Elokainu. We should see that LeYazev and LeYitesh. We should see it in the physical world. That last line, page Shimon Gimel. Notwithstanding the condition of Mokom was man in space and in time. This has to be affected, right? Says the Rebbe, when the Frierdiker Rebbe said this pasuk, that's what he meant. He didn't mean that the Eibishter forgot us. It meant that it looks like the Eibishter forgot us. And we should see Begoloi that he hasn't forgotten us, and that Hashem Elokainu was imanu. How? And he speaks in 5 points. The Frierdiker had to ask and influence. That it should be good, but that you could see it, and then it's revealed. Aleph, him personally, Hashem Elokainu imanu. Moreover, the Frierdiker is a public person, so that he should see the imanu, and Al Yazvein knew. While Yachay knew as he is a Rebbe, when the Frierdiker Rebbe speaks about himself, he should say, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imi, Al Yazvi, V'al Yachi. What's the Al Yazvein nu, Al Yachay nu? Because the Frierdiker Rebbe is a Yochid, Sherabim Tzrichim Le. He's talking an individual, but everybody needs him, and as much as everybody needs him, he is the whole cloud. Gimel. The Yisayim is that moreover, skip the parentheses. When the Frierdiker Rebbe said this tefillah, he was speaking on behalf of all of the Yidden in all of Russia. That they should see Begoloi and the Hashem Elokainu imanu. Number 4, all the Yidden in the world. And number 5, hey, skip the parentheses. All Jews of all times. So he says there's 5 levels in this tefillah. He was davening for himself as an individual. He was davening himself as a Rebbe. He was davening for Yidden in Russia. He was davening for Yidden all over the world. And he was davening Yidden of all times. And even though it's true that La Yitish and La Yazeh, even though it's true, Yehi Hashem Elokainu, nevertheless, Yehi Hashem Elokainu al Yazveinu al Yachena, that it should be his galus. Number 14. Al Pizeh Mischaseges Yisir Hashem. Now that we understand that the Friedrich Rebbe wasn't stamped davening that the Eibush should be with Yidden, but that the Eibush should be with Yidden in a way that we could see the Eibush with Yidden, there's a kasha. What is the kasha? Why does it have to say that Hashem shouldn't abandon us and Hashem shouldn't forget us? Once a Yid is infected, that Havaya Elokainu should be with us, Havaya Elokainu being with us is above the whole question of the Yazdim and the Yiddish. There is 200, in 200 you have 100. Okay, that when you say Yehi Hashem Elokainu, go down 5 lines from the end of the paragraph. You're talking about Hashem's holy names. Which you have David himself, like it says in Chassidus. When you use Hashem's names, you don't chas v'shalom mean the Midas and the Sfiris, you mean Hashem himself, Atzmos. So the words Yehi Havaya Elokainu Imanu with David, the Eibishter himself, Atzmos and should be with us. So the shwaila is, why do you have to add after that? Like it says in Chassidus, the second line before the end of the paragraph. And the shaila therefore is, once we understand that this pasuk is not talking about Hashem being with Yidden, but Hashem's being in Yidden should be begilui, and Hashem is not forgetting us and not abandoning us should be begilui. Says the Rebbe, no, if you're davening for Gilui, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imanu Hashem is enough. Of course, if Hashem Elokainu is Imanu, there's no Yazveinu and there's no Yachenu. Why do you have to say it twice or 3 times? Why does Shlomo HaMelech not suffice with saying Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imanu Hashem stop? And automatically, if the Eibush is going to be with us, particularly since in this Maimed, we don't mean stam that it should be with us, but that it should be with us on even his galus. So if Yehi Hashem Elokainu means that Eibush is going to be with us on Eifed of his galus, automatically includes Al Yazveinu Val Yacheinu. And to be very frank, it's a good kasha. It's a good kasha. You know how come it's a good kasha? Because I know the tenets. And the tenet is a good tenet. Huh?
What's these galus?
What is it? We should see it. What's this galus?
We're only going to see it when Mashiach.
You're living in America.
How does it apply now?
And you could send your child to a Yiddish cheder. Not only doesn't the government punish you for it, they actually give whatever they could give to support your school without being over in the terrible aveda of violating the separation of church and state. Do you see the Eibishter here, or you see Uncle Shmuel here? Uncle Sam. I cannot see your facial expression.
No.
That's the Yehi Hashem Elokainu. Yeah, we have tzaddas with our children in the Yonam for Yiddishkeit. And one of our children has a seder, is tshuva. And he goes back to yeshiva, or he starts growing a beard, or he's going to get married, his wife is going to wear a sheitel. That's Yehi Hashem Elokainu. And if it's not that way, so you must follow that it should be his galus. Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu kasher hoyam aveseinu al yazveinu al yacheinu. It's very real. It's so real, it's uncomfortable. It's so real, it hurts. The Friedrich Rebbe said it in Russia, where you were paying with your life. We live in America. Baruch Hashem, we're not paying with our life. But this Indian that we need to see Sayata Deshmaya. And when Yonam of Teda Mitzvahs, everybody needs that. It's the old story, you know, the difference between your life and my life. Your tzaddas you know, my tzaddas you don't know. You know my life and your life. My tzaddas I know, your tzaddas I don't know. It's not easy living in this world. And the Eibush to help us to bring children into this world. And for the day we bring our first child into the world, as long as we're breathing, there's not one day vacation. Every day, either we're doing something practically for our children, or we're saying a kapitel tilim, yeah, and you're saying in every breath, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu kasher hoyem aviseinu al yazveinu al yichin. That's the taich. That's the taich. You have to understand. I learned this Maamar twice. I taught it on Friday. I chazed it yesterday in shul. For me, this is around. No, I taught it Shabbos morning in one shul, and I chazed it Shabbos afternoon in a different shul. So I'm learning the Maamar for the 6th time. I had a little time to get into my kishkis. You're hearing it for the first time. This pasuk is we don't know it, but we say it every day. I mean, we actually say these words in Beis Yaakov. We say this pasuk. But when the Rebbe is saying what it means, what does it mean? The Eibush of the Ein Boom is Gauss. And by the way, we're not yet finished with the answer. There's a second point. The first point is that the Eibush should be with us by his Gauss. And on this, the Rebbe is asking, so why do you have to say separately Hashem Elokainu imonu and separately Al Yazveinu Al Yichenu? And you're going to find that out very soon. Okay? Number 15, next paragraph. In this pasuk, which is in Sefer Melachim, first you daven that Hashem shouldn't abandon us, and then you daven that Hashem shouldn't forget us. It says the Rebbe Shazel b'seider hafuch miloshan hakoslav in Tilim kilayitish Hashem ameh v'nachalos aliyadu. This is the Shishayim of Wednesday. We say this pasuk. In David HaMelech's Tilim, first it says kilayitish and then layazev. And when we're mispalo, we're not mispalo al yichenu v'al yazveinu. We're mispalo backwards. Al yazveinu v'al yichenu. Don't forget us, don't abandon us. Why is the order reversed? And the truth is, it's not just a difference in change of order, but it's a difference in the meaning of it. It says in Targum Yenis and Benazil, on these words, al yazveinu v'al yichenu lo yishav ki nona. He shouldn't abandon us. He shouldn't go far away from us. The idea of Hashem abandoning us, and it can be in such a way. He's close to us in space. So when Hashem abandons us, he's standing next to us, but he's turned his back. 4 lines in the bottom. He shouldn't be far away from us. Says the Rebbe, since Al Yazveinu means he shouldn't abandon us even when he's standing next to us, and Al Yichenu means he shouldn't be far away from us, HaSeder HaKosuf, move and say that HaKosuf Kilayita Hashem Ameh V'nachalos Elayazer. That when it says in Tilim, first Hashem shouldn't be far from us, and then Hashem shouldn't abandon us. That makes sense. Hashem shouldn't be far away. Then he adds Layazer, that even if he's not far, even if he's close, he shouldn't abandon us. So, being far is worse than being abandoned and close. So the Seder should be, first you should say Al Yichenu, you shouldn't be far from us. And then we say Al Yazveinu, don't abandon us even when you're close, like it says in Tilim. So the Rebbe's kasha is, why did Mishlei HaMelech quote the words of his father backwards? First Al Yazveinu and then Al Yichenu, rather than Al Yichenu Al Yazveinu. Especially since it makes sense to put Al Yichenu first, because Al Yichenu is a worse condition. Don't go away from us far. Rabbi Paltiel has a song, Don't Hide From Me, right? It's probably from this Chassidus. Hashem shouldn't be far from us. So Al Yichenu is don't be far, and Al Yazveinu means don't be near with your back turned. So L'cha'ira, Shlomo HaMelech should have said the same Seder as his father. First Al Yichenu and then Al Yazveinu. Why did it say first Al Yazveinu and then Al Yichenu? So we have Azoy. We learned a pasuk in Melachim. This Shlomo Melech said this pasuk when he brought the Aron HaKadosh into the Kadosh HaKadosh when the Beis HaMikdash was built in Melachim Aleph. And he's mispalo. Hashem should be with us, like he was with our fathers. He shouldn't abandon us, and he shouldn't forget us. So we're explaining. It doesn't mean Shlomo Melech is David. Hashem should be with us. Hashem is always with the Yid. Hashem should be with us by his galus. So the Rebbe says, okay. Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu kasher hoyem. Hashem should be with us like he was with our fathers. There's enough. Why do you have to add Al Yazveinu Al Yichenu? It's a repetition. And why is it written in the wrong order? So now we read Siv Beis, the answer to the last two kashas. The answer to the kasha of why you have to b'chlal say al yazveinu al yachenu, and why al yazveinu come before al yachenu. I just want you to know there's a pile of Maimorim sitting right here at the edge of that table. You can come and take one. Al pi ha-mevur mimaynet balagula hanal, as explained to the bottom of the Frierdiker Rebbe. Now here's the second part of the tenets. Sha'apasuk Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu v'negemer hu v'negeya la'avoida b'poyel. This is the second answer, second part of the answer. What's the pshat in Shlomo Melech's tefillah, in the Frierdiker Rebbe's tefillah? Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu. Number one, Hashem should be with us b'his galus, and number two, Hashem should be with us b'his galus in serving Him, not in some mystical way, but in our serving Him. And when you put both of these ideas together, number one, that the pshat is Hashem should be with us in Eifin of His galus. Number two, that Hashem should be with us b'his galus in Eifin of Avodah b'Poyel. You understand the need for Al Yazveinu Al Yachenu, and you understand the right order. And the Rebbe explains. Let's go. Okay? And when you understand the pshat in this tefillah is that Hashem should be with us b'his galus in Avodah b'Poyel, we know how the pasuk that Hashem should be with us, that Shlomo Melech said, is more al mashanem anech Hashem Elokecha. Of course, anech Hashem Elokecha is higher than Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu, but anech Hashem Elokecha is in the sky. We're speaking on the ground. The hine after kol was the matter is taka emes. When the Eibush gave us the Torah, the whole point is tachas b'shleimus, highest level. Skip the parenthesis. We have to add to the Torah. Shenas Aidei Talmud Vostik, which a Talmud has to add. So the minute the Eibush hands you the Torah and walks away, and you have to learn the Torah, and be mechadish in Torah, you have a new tefillah. Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu, Hashem Elokainu. He says, Anech Hashem Elokecha. Anech Hashem Elokecha was when He gave us the Torah. But now that we're going to be mechadish chedushim in Torah, we need His help. And He continues. Certainly when it comes to doing mitzvahs. Which get to the lowest world in Mokum Zman. So though the Eibush already gave us the Torah, and in the Torah He wrote that the Shem Elokecha, we're mispalel Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu when we're learning Torah and when we're doing mitzvahs. And He continues. Then we left Matan Torah. We spent 40 years in the Midbar. During 40 years we were in a very holy state. We ate Eichle Amon, and then what happens? We went into Eretz Yisrael. When you come into Eretz Yisrael and you stop having Mon, and you stop having Be'er Shel Miriam, you stop having Yehi Yaakov, you for sure need the tefillah Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu. Next, v'yaseirim izeh la'acharei sheyotzu v'es nishav. Then there's a ghost. You leave Eretz Yisrael. L'mayim v'damas t'du'ali no mayad seinu v'nisrachat no malad m'seinu. We were exiled and we were made far. Shagam v'asarach liyasein avodah, even in Golos, even far away, even in America. We have to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so we understand why, though the Eibush already gave us b'matana, Anech Hashem Elokecha, the Eibush gave us b'matana, La'yitesh and La'yazev, we're mispalel, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu, Ayazveinu al Yachenu. Says that every say, we all understand that in fact in Golos, it's not only a time that we serve Hashem, also that's the primary time we serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Says the Rabbi behind what this means, even though the Eibush gave us so much, when He gave us the Torah, skip a half a line, we all have work to do. It should be revealed, and for this we need help. It's simple, really. It's simple except for one thing. It's life. The Rebbe is not talking philosophy in this mind. The Frierdiker Rebbe, when he said these words in that train station, was crying out to Atzma Saint Sefer in an unbelievable way, and saying, the Bein Shalom help. He wasn't saying, help me get the Torah at Har Sinai. He was, help me get the Torah in Soviet Russia. Help me get the Torah in the 21st century of America. And we all understand that we need this tefillah b'chol rega v'rega. Because the tefillah is not that Hashem should be with us in some theoretical way. Hashem should be with us consciously in our lives and in our actions. And that's why you're saying a tefillah, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu, and you're also adding Al Yazveinu Al Yachenu. Number 17, 7 lines from the bottom of page Shin Mem Hey. This is the request. Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu, and he teaches. Sha'in Yehi Hashem Elokainu is taka true. But Yom Shach b'Maisa b'Peil l'Mata Masalat Tfochem and Yehi Hashem Elokainu shouldn't remain in Aseres Hadibris. It should be in my life today in America, in quarantine, or in, we're not sure, yellow light, red light, green light, I don't know what light. Whatever the Maimed the Matzav is, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imon. Skip the bracket. V'in, 4 lines from the bottom. V'in yinzeh, Yehi Nokol b'Yesed. This is much easier. Ayedei zeh Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu kasher hoyam aviseinu. If the Eibishter will be with us, and we'll experience Him consciously, as our fathers experienced Him, it'll make our work much easier. What does this mean? But our fathers means the Yidden and the Midbar. The Eibishter was with them by His Gals every second. And we're davening, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu kasher hoyam aviseinu. Says the Rebbe, Taka Emes, the Eibishter gave us an Yehi Hashem Elokainu, but it's Taka Emes that we have to daven. That the Yehi Hashem Elokainu, which He gave us, should reach us here and now and in this. Turn the page. Ubeprati says when you break it up specifically, Hine. Ma shekosu Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu koyal and yodim hamachinim es adam lavei be'elmaz. The first half of the apostle, Yehi Hashem. It's one of the psukim that you say Simchas Teda. You know that. Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu kasher hoyam aviseinu. Right. That's about hachonas ha'adam lavei be'elam hazeh, preparing to the work in this world. Ukipashtas hakosav is the simple taches. Shaydei zeh Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu. If Hashem is going to be with us, yuchal lifol avidaseh ben yonam shel be'el will do our job. Number 18 now. Then it says, don't forget us and don't distance yourself from us. That's the work itself. Whenever you're starting to go out into the world, it's very dangerous. That's a special help. And what is the help? I'm going to skip a few lines because the Rebbe is going to come back to it later on page Shinun. Okay? So this is the pshat. Taka emes that the Eibishter gave us Yehi Hashem Elokainu. It's Taka emes that David HaMelech said Liyidish HaDeshaman Ben Achos HaYazev, and Shlomo HaMelech is being mispalel for those things that we were promised. Because Shlomo HaMelech is not speaking philosophy. He's speaking life. And He's speaking life to us today, now, here. Yeah? So why do you have to have two? So he says, number 1, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu is called the Hachana L'Avodah, that we should be prepared to be servants of Hashem. We should do the avodah b'poil. Number 19, ube'emes, to be sure. Even the first half of the pasuk, shayach gavar la'avodah atzma, you consider it a part of our actual service to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not the preparation. But the way that Rebbe explains it is Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu kasher hoyam aviseinu is mental and emotional. It's seichel and midas. Al Yadveinu and Al Yichenu is machshava dibur u'maisa. That's how it plays out in the Maimon. Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu kasher hoyam aviseinu means that the Eibishter should be in our mind and the Eibishter should be in our heart. So you could say that that's called the Hachana L'Avodah, or you could say it's Avodah Atzma, but it's the Ruchnius Dika half Avodah. Then comes Al Yadveinu Al Yichenu is Maisa B'Peh. Let the Rebbe talk. Ella, the first half of the pasuk, when it says Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu kasher hoyam aviseinu, she's a shayach linyan ha'izboninus. It's connected to hizboninus. Shekidem is la'aveda b'maisa b'peil, which becomes before actual work. Kimavur b'ha'maimed, like it's written in the Maimed, that aviseinu is chochma bina. Aviseinu means chochma bina. Our father is chochma bina. Imanu was the 7 midas. Kasher hoyam aviseinu. Just like the Eibishter is involved in our seichel, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu means Hashem should be also an amidah shebelev. Al Yadveinu Al Yichenu means a machshava dibur u'maisa. That's how they explain. The Fidik Rebbe explains it. That's why it says in the pasuk here, the Hashem Elokainu Imanu b'avidas habirurim. The Eibishter should be with us in the work of creating clarity. But here, clarity doesn't mean in the world. Clarity means in the personality. Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imanu means when a Yid is mavared his 7 midas inside of himself, he should have the help from the Eibishter. V'hainu, skip the parenthesis. She'imanu hainam midas. Imanu means the 7 midas. Okay? And we say, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu. The Eibishter should help us. Mevada the midas, kasher hoyam aviseinu, as the Eibishter is or was with our Chochmah and Bina, which is, at least for today, higher than Inyan and Bina. So the first half of this pasuk is a tefillah about the Eibishter being with us in our mind and in our heart. And you could say it in two ways. You could call it Hachana La'avoida, it's only a preparation. You could call it Avoida Atzma, but it's the Hisbonenus. It's the spiritual part of Avoida Atzma. Or if you're familiar with the Tanya, we started today. I didn't learn Tanya today. Today, Igeres HaTshuva Peidik Dalet, right? Today is the first page of Igeres HaTshuva Peidik. That's a pretty long Peidik. It's over 3 amudim. And one of the things that we're going to have in 2 or 3 days in Chitas is Yudke Vovke. What's Yudke Vovke? So he explains it twice. He explains Yudke Vovke in Sfiris, and he explains Yudke Vovke in Keches HaNefesh, in a person. And he explains them differently. There's contradictions between one and the next. The Rebbe has Guval the Kasichas on it. How does he explain Yudke Vovke in Keches HaNefesh? He says Yud is Mesiris Nefesh. Hey is Seichel and Midas. Hey means everything you understand the Eibishter, everything you feel the Eibishter is part of the Hey. The Vav is learning Torah, and the second Hey is doing mitzvahs. Again, the Yud is Mesiris Nefesh, Eison, higher than Seichel, and the Hey in Avedas Adam is Seichel and Midas. Why? Why does Hey, the first Hey, include Seichel and Midas? So it says in the Rebbe Siches, because Midas are B'klau HaNestarach L'Hashem Elokainu. In other words, this is how I teach it. Ich bin doch ein Amerikaner, yeah? In America they talk about, one of the worst, one of the dirtiest words in America, one of the most profane, vile expressions in America is organized religion. Organized religion, right? You speak to the kids who think they're smart, who are rebelling, they're 19 years old, and they went on Google, since they go on and go in Adidim, Grace of Philosophy, organized religion, big Aveda, organized religion. What's the opposite of organized religion? Personal religion. In Tanya it's called Hanestodes Vaniglis. Vav Kei Niglis. Organized religion is Vav Kei, Teda Mitzvahs. Hanestodes, personal religion, is Yud Kei. What's personal? My Yechid is personal, my mind is personal, and my heart is personal. That's why the Rebbe in Tanya, when he talks about Yud Kei Vav Kei Nefesh HaAdam, includes Midas with the first Hey, because it's still part of personal religion. In Tanya it's called Hanestodes L'Hashem Elokainu, Hanigles Lano, we all have the same Torah, Torah Achad L'Kulana, Mishpat Achad L'Kulana, but in other words, we all have the same Torah, that's the Vav. We all have the same mitzvahs, that's the second Hey, but the Yud and the Kei is individual. So the Rebbe says, the Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu Kasher Hayam Aviseinu is personal religion. Is my Seichel and my Midas. You want to call that Hachana L'Avoida? You could. You want to call that Avoida Atzma? You could do that also. But it's Hanestodes. It's not the action of Yiddishkeit, it's the Nisham of Yiddishkeit. And then the Rebbe continues. Last line of the paragraph. There's a second request. The second request is Al Yazveinu Val Yitshenu. Says the Rebbe B'Negei L'Avoida B'Mayis L'Apel. You see, the Rebbe is talking to us almost like he's talking in English. You don't have to translate this, Mami, you have to just read it. After Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu Kasher Hayim Aviseinu means our minds and our hearts should be filled with Elokus, which you can either call Achana L'Avoida or you can call the Avoida of Hisbonenus. Then comes Torah and Mitzvah, the Pale Mamish, and that's the Azveinu. That's why Shlomo Melech says two things, because he's speaking about two things. Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu, he's talking Hashem should be with us when we use our mind to learn and understand the word Chassidus. Hashem should be with us in our heart when we try to use the Chassidus that we learned in our mind a little bit to be mavared the midas. Let's start in the first page. The Garish Kol Mida Ro Maguna. To be mavared our midas. That's also a part of Hanestodes L'Hashem Elokainu. Then, after you learn Torah and you learn Chassidus and you mavared midas, then you do mitzvahs, the poyel mamish, for this ayah zayin about your Questions or comments? Okay, turn to page Shin Nun. The pages I just skipped, I learned on Friday, okay, more or less. The pages we just skipped were about the first 2 points of the Maamar. I said it in my introduction. If you were here from the beginning, you heard it from me already. In other words, Friday we learned what the Rebbe adds to the Frierdiker Rebbe's Maamar that the Frierdiker Rebbe Bechlal didn't mention. The idea that he is the Chelik Elokanu Ma'al Mamish. And the way you Megala, the Chelik Elokanu Ma'al Mamish, is for the Chelka, the Shem Omer Nafshi, Anon Nesiv Malka. Today we're learning after a Yid knows he's a Chelik Elokanu Ma'al Mamish. And he's Megala that Chelik by saying Anon Nesiv Malka. Then he davens to the Eibishter that it should be revealed in my life, not just at Har Sinai, not just in the Midbar, not in the times of the Beis HaMikdash, but in Chud and Golos, and even the Golos of Seizman HaGos, the Ikvis of the Mashiach of our generations, Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu, Kasher Hoyam Avisef. Okay? Umamshich, and the Maamar continues, Al Yazvein, Al Yachein, that after the Inyan of Yehi Hashem Elokainu Imonu, Kasher Avisef, which means the Bidr HaSeichel, and the Bidr HaMidas, now you have to have the Eibish's help in doing mitzvahs b'pel mamish. V'inyan b'zeh, the pshat is, Hi negam acharei shenasa d'Hashem Elokainu imonu kasher hoyam aviseinu. We already are zoicher. But the Eibish helps us in what's called hachana la'avodah, or the avodah ha'madrega of hanistoris. Shezu ishleimet b'meichin u'b'midas aviseinu when imonu. Harei tzorach li'is nimshach gam b'maisa b'peil sharei maisa hu ha'ikh has to come down into action, because as we know, the Lubavitcher Rebbe teaches us the action is the main thing. The thing that matters most is Maisa B'Peil. So it's very important that Hashem should be with us and with the Aviseinu in Seichel and Amidis, but it's more important that Hashem should be with us in the Al Yazveinu Al Yacheinu, because that means learning Torah and doing mitzvahs in America in the year 2020. Number one, it has to come down into the world of separation. You know what the beginning of Ayavim Vayachenu is what we do inside ourselves. There's the thought, speech, and action. They're called garments. Okay, now the bracket I'm skipping because the Rebbe says something in this bracket which I don't understand. The Rebbe says that levushim einam chelik min haguf. So I'm going to skip the bracket because I don't understand it. And the Rebbe says, Val Yodam, and through the Machshava Diburumaisa Nasa Kiyama mitzvahs, you do mitzvahs, and I wrote on top of the line, Ba'olam in the world. Leirak mitzvahs to Machshava, not just mitzvahs in thought, which is understanding Torah. Elagam mitzvahs to B'div, mitzvahs in speech, which is called Maisa Zuda, until mitzvahs to Maisa, which is Maisa Rav. So first, the Ayazveinu Vayachenu is that inside our person, Hashem should support our thought, speech, and deed. And second, that when we actually think and speak and do Torah and mitzvahs in the world, Hashem should be with us. Moreover, that Hashem shouldn't only be with us with my thought, my speech, my action. As I'm doing something, but He should be with the thing in the world that I'm doing it with. Yeah, you make a bracha and a piece of bread. He shouldn't just be with my mouth and with my stomach and with my teeth and with my jaws. He should be with the bread. That we're involved in worldly things. That by themselves they're crude physical things. Something need to be changed. First of all, get rid of the chumriyas and make it gashmi. Instead of crude, it should be material. And then then from the physical you have to make spiritual. When a yid is making chumriyas into gashmis and gashmis into ruchnias, he says Al Yazveinu Al Yacheinu. Yesh tzeirach bevakoshu tefillah. You have a request and a prayer. Al Yazveinu Al Yacheinu. Hashem shouldn't abandon us and Hashem shouldn't forget us. So the Rebbe says the first half of the apostle, Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu, Kasher Hoyam Avisef, is also talking about life. Avodah b'poil. But avodah b'poil in our mind and in our heart. Al Yazveinu Al Yacheinu has to do with avodah b'poil in our arms and in our legs and in the world and in the things of and from and with the world that we use in Avodas Hashem. Verstehst? What is it? Het werter. Shalayu and Yoni Toas Ba'aveda. The Al Yazveinu Al Yacheinu means we shouldn't make a mistake in Avodas Hashem. Because the two kinds of mistakes that people make. One kind of mistake is represented by Al Yazveinu, and the other kind of mistake is represented by Al Yacheinu. What are they? In America they say don't bite off more than you could chew. People should not undertake in Yonei Avodah that they're not holding by. A Yid in our generation is going to do Yechudi Allah. Shlov today. A person should not overestimate himself because then he'll end up crashing. And do not quit, do not lose hope, do not give up. Al Yazvenu means don't get carried away with yourself and think you're holding by the highest madregas. And Al Yachenu means don't have Yiyush. That's why you have to have separately Yehi Hashem Elokainu imonu kasher ha'im aveseinu, which speaks about avodah pnimis in our mind and in our heart and our senses. The Eibush should be there. Al Yazvenu v'Yachenu means that we go into the actual world. First, the world of the person, his thought, speech, and action, and how we exercise the thought, speech, and action in the world and with things of the world. And there's a tefillah Al Yazvenu v'Yachenu. What's the pshat? And of course, now the Rebbe is going to explain why he changes from the lashon in Tilim. In Tilim it says first Layitesh and then Layazim. Layitesh means don't be far from me, and Layazim means don't even turn your back on me and be near me. But the Rebbe says first Al Yazvenu. Shlomo Melech says first Al Yazvenu Al Yachenu, because he's davening for something different. Vos made Al Yazvenu, don't let go of us, so we should think we're ready on a high madreg. Look at this. The first thing is Al Yazvenu. Don't abandon us. Says the Rebbe Sheil in Haziva, the idea that Hashem will let go of us. He's letting go of us. He's not far away. Now, why would the Eibush let go of us and stand next to us? Huh? If I'm angry with you, I let go of you and I go away. If I let go of you and I stand near you, so I'm not angry with you. So why am I letting go of you? Because I trust you. That's the Al Yazvenu. Don't let me think that you trust me. Al Yazvenu, don't let go of me so that I'll think. You find a Gemara, it's a very tragic Gemara. I learned it as a child. And I remember how much it bothered me. It bothered me so much. There was a guy whose name is Bar Dorema. Some people think this is Bar Koich. Bar mentioned the Gemara in Gittin. Bar Dorema was an unbelievable warrior. He could jump a kilometer, and swing his sword and kill hundreds of Romans in one swing of his sword. Bar Dorema said to the Eibishter, the Beinei Shaleilam, don't help me. Just don't help the Romans. He went to a bathroom and an akrov, a scorpion, killed him. A little tiny insect. They don't help me, verstehst? Al Yazvenu means don't think I don't need your help. Don't let me think I don't need your help anymore. That's Al Yazvenu. Look inside. The Al Yachalid is a person who can make a mistake. Binyon, Yavedasi in his matter, Yehi Hashem Elokainu, and to assume for himself levels of Avodah which are way beyond his level. Hashem is right near him, but he let go of him. Says the Rebbe move when the person understands. Hashem letting go of him is only that it looks like Hashem let go of him. Biglau, so he thinks, you know why Hashem is letting go of me? The Rebbe should trust me. I'll do it all by myself. Not but then, maybe he's watching to see if we do it.
Why did you say that it has to mean Hashem is angry? Maybe he's letting go to give him a chance to grow.
So the Rebbe says there is the possibility that Hashem is letting go to give him a chance to grow, but there's also the fear that the person is going to overestimate himself, and that's the tefillah. Don't let me make that mistake. Of course, there's the possibility that be'emes the Eibush to trust, but there is the fear that maybe he's misunderstanding the Eibush is letting go. The person, the Jew, suddenly says, "Look at me, a ganze chassid bin ich. I can do a lot myself. Samsa poshnik. I can also praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I can add to the Eibish's koiches. Says the Rebbe, a person can make a mistake. To go in ways that are beyond him. That are beyond you. And any time a person, so to speak, bites off more than he can chew, he breaks his jaws. Simple. So the Al Yazveinu is, don't put me in a position where I'm going to think that I can do it myself. And the Rebbe calls this the Nisoyin of Chesed. The Nisoyin of Chesed, the Nisoyin of self-love. That's what I tell you. Then he continues. The Neisev Atos Anal to Mitzad Kava Chesed. There's the Nisoyin of Chesed, which you start to like yourself very much. Yechel Gamli is Tos. B'ktei Hasheni Mitzad Kava Gevura Vatzimtum. There's the Nisoyin of Gevura. What is that? That the Eibush Taka let go, went away. Al Yachenu. Hashem is not around. And now you have the fear, a person shouldn't lose hope. The Yavel the year she's going to go into despair. Mi ani omani, who am I? Because he thinks I'll be a cheshbon tzedek shabenafshe when he makes an honest cheshbon about himself. I can't do it. Don't let me think I can do it by myself. And al yitcheinu, don't put me in a position where I'm going to give up. Now we understand the Seder. Because this is a Nisoyin of Chesed, this is a Nisoyin of Gevura. Chesed comes forward. So it answers the last question. Why did Shlomo HaMelech reverse it? David HaMelech says, Lo yitesh and lo yazev, and Shlomo HaMelech asks backwards, Al yazveinu v'al yitcheinu. Because since we understand that this pasuk that Shlomo HaMelech is saying, Yehi Hashem Elokainu kasher hoyem aviseinu al yazveinu v'al yitcheinu means Hashem should be his galus, right? That's the key. You want to know what this Maimon is? That it's a tefillah for his galus, alakus, and avoida b'poyel. That's what the Maimon is teaching us. That's what Rebbe is explaining the pasuk. The first half of the pasuk is avoida b'poyel l'seichel l'midas, hanestarus Hashem Elokainu, which you could call if you want hachana l'aveda. Yazveinu v'al yitcheinu is avoida b'poyel mamish, which starts inside the person and extends outside the person and extends to the whole world. He says, Al Yazveinu, don't let me think I can do it by myself. And Al Yitcheinu, don't put me in a position where I'm going to lose hope. Number 23, Vov. V'zehu, this is the end of the Maimon already. Yehi Hashem Elokainu manu kasher hoyem aviseinu al Yazveinu v'al yitcheinu. Page Nosei, Shin Nun Aleph, second paragraph, second line. Haseda b'zehu, the way it works is as follows. The first request is Shavai Elokainu k'chedei b'chayaseinu, that Havaya should be our personal koyach, begilu. Fathers means the intellect of the person, and imanu means the beater of the midas. Then comes which means to elevate the world, which is the request to be mavada oneself. And after you ask the Eibush should support you in the Inyanim Pnimiyim of Mayach and Lev, you ask the Eibush should support you also in the Birurim in the world, which he calls Pachim K'tani. Next paragraph, please. This was the tefillah of the Frierdiker Rebbe on Gimel Tammuz, Bizman and B'Mokaimahu, in that time and in that place. Ukfi Shabir explains in his letters that when he said that tefillah on that day 93 years ago this year in that train station, he said it to all the Yidden. The redemption of the Frierdiker Rebbe Yud Beis Tammuz was not only for him, every single Jew, all the Jewish people, including Yidden, whose entire identity as a Jew is a nickname. Skip the parentheses. Says the Rebbe, you have to make a keli for this tefillah, this prayer, this request of the Frierdiker Rebbe to be actualized, and the keli is we should take a serve Hashem in a way of aviseinu, brains, imanu, heart, arms and legs. Days that the koyin birchas tzaddik nesidereinu, it satisfies, it fulfills the bracha of the tzaddik. V'chol echad mi Yisrael, in every Jew. V'chol b'nei Yisrael, all of us collectively. Mitachlis ha'ilish, from the highest Jew. Adla Asher B'Shem Yisrael Yechunu, so to speak to the Yidus in the lowest Madrege. Yehi Hashem Elokainu imanu kasher hoyam aviseinu al yazveinu val yachenu. And of course the key is Yum Shach Lemato Bagilun. It should be revealed and revealed in this book, right? But there's one more point. How do you translate Yehi? Es zol sein. It should be. But Yehi also means es vet sein. It will certainly be. In other words, the word Yehi could be a prayer, and the word Yehi could be a promise. So in the entire Maimed, we read Yehi as a prayer. It says the Rebbe, then you have Kepirish Hasheni Pasuk. I'm 7 lines from the end of the Maimed, page nothing. The second touch in this pasuk, Shulas and Asr, there's future tense. V'lashon atach, it's a promise. Just like the word v'yahavta. V'yahavta means you should love, and yahavta means you will love. Shesh b'zeh beis pirushim aleph lashon tzivi te'ehev esa Yiddish du zolst lieb haben, and beis lashon Asr yugam lashon avtacha hishtava ya'av mamela du vest lieb haben. Just like yahavta means you're told to love, and you're promised that you will. Yehi means you're told, you're telling Hashem that you give us this and this, and then and also promising that it's going to be. This promise is fulfilled immediately. Like it says in Rambam, you put some in Sechachutza, and so on and so forth, and we're going to stop right now. It's a good mind, Rabbi. It's a good mind.